What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another game development live stream. I really like the tradition with the camera. Like I'm like materializing out of the void every time I start stream. It's kind of, I don't know, I enjoy it. An enjoyable pastime. Um yeah, today we're going to work on implementing the Drake body type as 3D. Ugh. God, it's so goofy. Wait. Get the exact angle. Okay. Um, that's the goal for today. Gonna involve more than just making the model. Making the model though it could take a while because I think it's definitely gonna be more complicated and cooler looking, which I guess wouldn't necessarily make it take longer, but cooler looking than the lizard model we have. Um, let me run the ad break really quick. Get it out of the way. I think it'll definitely take longer. It's larger. I'm probably going to put more detail into it. We'll see. I'll try to go fast. And then we actually have to alter the code so that we can implement different 3D models. Also, it's storming outside my house and my power might go out. Yeah, you might be able to hear it even because it's pretty loud. Um, but yeah, if the stream disconnects suddenly, it's most likely because my power went out. Um, my house is being assaulted by the wind. So, yeah. Let's just see what we have so far. But yeah, I have to think of a way to implement it in terms of the coding. So there's a lot of ways I could do that. I could just implement it. I could just try implementing it as something that attaches to, or something in one of the in the feature attribute, like some sort of export variable to replace the skeleton model. But the question is, am I gonna want any other 3D assets? And if so, I would need a per part solution instead. So I could have separate export variables for that. Like I could have something to the change the body type, and then something to change any like extra parts after that. But that seems a little arbitrary. I'd like to do something that's like more consistent with the systems we already have. But yeah, here's what we have so far. I think the water look has been improved. I don't want to say it's in a permanent state, but I think it looks better now. It's just I'm struggling to get the water looking good. I think the next thing I'll try is increasing the frequency at which it, or the period at which it repeats the animation. Because right now it's definitely looking a little repetitive. But I think there's also just something kind of off with how the colors are like presented. I mean, I guess it doesn't look too terrible, but it's kind of hard to see what's going on. Maybe I could um, decrease the frequency of the waves for that, not the texture. But I already kind of tried that, so. And I guess it did make a difference based off of what I remember. Yeah, here's the upgrade menu, which looks... I'm definitely happy with this. Not as like a permanent thing, but I think it'll be at least good enough for the Steam page. Yeah, we can change what kind of breath element we have. We can add one, then change the element associated with it. I need to work on some other UI parts here, like figuring out what this parameter does. Yeah, we can add multiple upgrades. We gotta also get rid of where it's using this spin box. And there's something else I can test pretty easily. Yeah, here we go. Okay, the breath upgrade just didn't work. That's something I'm gonna have to try and fix. I still don't know what's causing that. Yeah, it's like two out of 3 of the upgrades worked. And I will say the combination of 2D with 3D for the Morning Star doesn't look bad, although it does seem like it's slightly detached, so I'll have to fix that, but I think it looks fine. All right, yeah, let's figure out. Let's do the programming side of it first, or at least start by taking a look at that. So, yeah, let me go to feature attribute. And this is the script we use to add like different body parts, or this is the attribute we use. Yes, we have added parts and removed parts. Upgradable shader parameters. That's those are shader parameters. I might want to take another look at this and see if there's a better way to handle all this other stuff. Yeah, especially since I'm using 3D now, the shaders might change. I have to re-implement that at some point. Okay, here's upgrade part. It's a scene, replace type, and a mask. Now, before we were replacing the body parts by doing them all individually because they were like cut out differently, but now we need like one asset to like spread across all the different bones, and we need to probably rearrange the bones. Yeah. So we could try integrating that into the upgrade parts somehow. Could have different kinds of upgrade parts maybe, like 2D upgrade part and then a 3D upgrade part. But again, it has to apply to the entire skeleton, so I could just make a parameter to replace the skeleton, which would include a new skin mesh to go with it. It might be the first thing we can try. And then for individual parts that have a 3D component, we could include that in the upgrade part, maybe. So how about replacement I could say skeleton or I could say mesh, but then it would be ignoring the other one. So like if I called it replacement skeleton, you know, it would also contain the replacement mesh. Really what we're looking for is a scene that can represent the new body type. I could call it replacement body. Packed scene. And this can be null. This is going to be like an optional parameter. And then in bind upgrade, maybe what I'll do is I'll implement this outside of the dragon, and then I'll create a function in the dragon and then move it in there. I feel like it would just be easier to do it that way. Otherwise, I'm going to have to like keep going back and forth. Well, I might have to keep going back and forth anyways. Okay, what does the scene look like? How are we doing it to begin with? We go to dragon. Is this its own scene? That would be helpful. It looks like it. Lizard 1, GLB, armature, skeleton, 3D, and plane. Okay, so as long as we have a similar hierarchy to this, we should be fine. And I think I am going to start by making the function in here. And I'll put it near the 3D related functions. So function set body, scene, act scene. So we are kind of creating a new convention here in a way. But I think the solution will work well enough. Like now we're gonna have this new thing where we have to arrange a bunch of scenes. Presumably, I mean, we could do a variety of things instead of this, but name everything correctly. And then have a collection of those scenes as assets, and then choose between them the upgrades. It's kind of like a new method to doing that, whereas before we just use the upgrade parts. Root 3D, skeleton, and animator 3D. And these are export variables right now. Okay. I'm going to... Should this be an add-on? No, I'm going to make it... I did this in one of my other projects, and I found it pretty useful and organized. I'm going to make a new folder called library, and just put some... I think you could use a static variable for this. I'm going to call this node... Wait, should this go into C? No, I think library is fine, because now we're kind of organizing things through system. Node utilities. And I just want to make I just want to make a function we can use wherever for recursive searches through like a node hierarchy. Should be pretty simple. Hold on. Let's see if there's any like pre-existing terminology I can use here. If I do like skeleton find child pattern string find children. Can we use like a delegate here? Well, it's not a huge deal. This should be fine. Recursive find. We need a node for this. There was something you could do in C# and Unity where I think it was called like an extension method, but you could extend the functionality of something as if a new function was added onto that type. That's kind of, I mean, that would be kind of useful here. But we do not have that. Then what do we want to call the function that checks whether it's correct or not? I could just say delegate. Is that the right term? Let me look that up. It might just mean like a function as a variable, in which case I could use it, but I feel like there's some other word. Selector or qualifier. Okay. I don't know. Oh, there's like a word that I'm thinking of. I'm trying to remember. Condition? But then it kind of like doesn't necessarily imply that it's going to be a function. Okay. Qualifier. Shit, I don't know. You can spend like a lot of time researching the name you want for certain things in order to like achieve some sort of consistency where similar approaches are done in other spots of the engine. It's not worth it for me in this specific instance right now. And we need a collection. Array nodes. This will also return an array of nodes. This array of nodes, actually. Okay, if condition dot call child, then children dot append child, and we want the recursive search to continue even if it doesn't match the conditions. So I'm also going to say recursive find child condition, and then children.append. Array. Thank you. That should be it. I think. Yeah. Alright, so we need to create an instance of the scene. And we also, when we call the start function, we move certain nodes to like a certain spot in a 3D, under a different 3D node. So we'll have to do that as well when we add new parts. And in terms of replication of upgrades, I think we already have something to handle that on the attributes. I could be wrong though. If not, we should do it that way. Scene 3D.add child root 3D. Okay, I see. Wait, root 3D. Would that be armature? Or lizard? What would that be? Root 3D, skeleton 3D, animation player. Okay. Oh, I see. Well, we can just, we don't even have to worry about doing that then. We can just replace what's in the root. Yeah. Okay. Instance equals scene dot instantiate, and then root 3D for child in root 3D get children. child.queue_free. Hopefully this doesn't cause any like conflicts or anything. Is there like a replace thing we can use? Replace by. We could make a new node, but then that might break the reference. Not sure. Then I think we can add the instance at this point, and then do our recursive search. Recursive find. Now we need a condition. Let me make sure I'm passing in the node to the callable. Yep. Oh, we're gonna need multiple of these though. I'm gonna make another function which would be a little more performant. Wait, what? Okay, if found does not equal null, return found. Found equals recursive find. If found does not equal null, return found. And I could probably move that up here. One second, there's a mosquito. I'll be right back. Ew! Hold on, click the right thing. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Oh, it's only been 27 minutes. We're making pretty good time. Or it feels like that because we're almost done with this side of things, I think. Yeah, so what's going to happen here is it's going to look through all of the children of the first node, and if we find something that matches the condition, we'll just return that. We'll also check all of the children of the children to see if we get any nodes that way. We just return the first thing we find, which should, if we find something, prevent us from looping through the entire collection at that point, or the entire hierarchy. Recursive find. Why is this not working? Yeah, we don't need this little indexer here at the end either, which is certainly helpful. And let me just do that for the other variables. Animator, root. So just the skeleton and the animator, really. It should already have the... Wait, do we need, like, actual animations in this? Hold on. I gotta think about that, too. Also, it's an animation player. I mean, it's possible we could standardize all of the animations. That would be feasible enough. It would change the hierarchy of the skeleton, though. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. I mean, we could make separate run animations. That is possible. That is a thing we can do. Okay, so at this point we should be able to call this. Scene, packed scene. Now let me go to the feature attribute. I guess we could also, like, have our own custom recursive, or, like, incorporate the assignment of the different variables in the search method, search callable function method thing. It's only 2 nodes right now, though, so it's not really that big of a deal. I guess it could save us, like, a little bit of performance, though, if we did it that way. Something to keep in mind. Because then we only have to do, like, 1 loop, right? But we can only stop once we found both? I don't know. I'll probably do it, Oh, are we gonna have to... Yeah, we have to consider the 2D side of things as well. Now, this already kind of works, confusingly. The upgrade kind of works in a way. It just doesn't switch out the 3D part, but it does give us, like, the correct configuration of 2D nodes. So it looks pretty goofy. Let me demonstrate. It also has the 2D node. It's also showing the 2D nodes, but when we actually run it, this is not what I was expecting. Okay, there we go. So yeah, the neck becomes, like, elongated. So it's just like stretching out the skeleton to match the 2D nodes. So the 2D nodes for this upgrade are already configured. Um, and if I remember correctly, we are just sorting the positions of the 3D nodes based off of the positions of the 2D nodes. Wait, this is Dragon menu. What the hell? Update 3D. Yeah, we get the rotation. And then we look at the part.body. Okay. So there is still some justification for having the 2D nodes because we can use the rigid body 2Ds. I was a little worried for a second because I was like, are we just making this for no reason? But no, we do still use those. So that's good. But we can also add visual components to them if we want. That does apply for some things like the Morning Star. I don't feel the need to change the Morning Star. Maybe we'll do it though. I don't know. Yeah, at this point, we can start working on the actual 3D model. I'll have to use a reference again. And I have to find where this is to begin with. Dragon parts. I don't know. Okay, it's in tool sets. I feel like it'd be easiest for now, at least, to make these in the same file. Unless I open this and the hierarchy is like super convoluted, which it is not. So that is good. We even have a reference here. Can I like see what percentage it is of its original size? Well, we need a reference for the Drake body as well. Um, yeah. These are all individual body parts. Okay. Might be a little more difficult to get a reference image here. I might just be able to hide the 3D root, perhaps. Oh, let me just add that one part to the feature attribute really quick. I feel like I'm a bit cloudy. My brain is running a bit slow. Okay, are we looking for something in update 3D or set body? Um oh my god. Okay, well I know I said I was gonna change something for the feature attribute. I don't know if there was something I was gonna change in here though. I think after we recalculate the chain, I could probably do it then. Yeah, because then this is stats and shader parameters. So I'll do it here. Dragon dot set body placement body, and then we'll just check we even have that before we do it. Okay, and that's hidden. So will this allow us to see the 2D nodes for the other body type? We are invisible. Where's the tail? Why is the tail not showing up? What? Uh, yeah, that's not good. Jeez. This one is really good at breaking rocks. I think it's because our forces increase when we have higher mass. That makes sense. I just don't know how I'm gonna like distribute the costs for all of these. Like, how much should this cost? Because it's kind of like a fixed change in how OP the dragon is, as opposed to some of our other upgrades, which you can like scale using like the parameters. Why are the tails not showing up? I didn't delete it, did I? What the hell? Oh, maybe it's just not supposed to replace it. Oh, that might be it. Yeah. Okay, we're just hiding the other sprites, though. Okay, that's good. So as long as we get rid of these, or unhide them, all four of them, I guess, um, we should be able to see what it looks like. That save? Okay. Scalemarch. This is an interesting build. You should be able to have like a worm body type. Or I guess that'd be snake would be more coherent, but that sounds kind of funny. I don't know. Might have to experiment with that. Could be like a Easter egg. I don't know. Because then you're kind of veering away from dragon territory. It's not reptilian enough. Doesn't count. Snake would be pretty close though, anyways. So maybe that's the next body type we'd add. That or like something aquatic oriented. I mean, the Drake body type is supposed to be like the stereotypical dragon look. We don't have any wings yet. We also have to add wings at some point. Anyways, once the neck pops out, this is what the body type looks like in 2D. Very goofy. I could try and get it as straight as possible. Just to get like a reference image. Also, I was mentioning the other day, it would be nice if we had something to cast shadows, like on the trees and stuff. But they actually have shadows already painted into the sprites, which I forgot about. I don't know if that's something I want to keep or not. Yeah, especially you can see how it's like layering in 3D. How it just layers over top of the 3D rendered stuff. Wait, this isn't 3D. This is a sprite. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Might want to find a better way to handle shadows. I'm not sure. We need to get some kind of reference image, though. We could just try and, if we get it good enough, we can just, like, try and line it up. Whoa. The hell? What was happening there? What is going on with the tail? Need the perfect alignment. Okay. Snipping tool. Oh. Okay, 5-second delay. And hopefully it freezes it. Go. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. Hold on. Try again. That could work. Oh. The tree! The tree ruined it. I might have been able to use that, though, because I could have used the other tail as, like, a reference. Once we do this for this dragon, we don't have to worry about doing this for any of the other body types. In fact, I might want to automate the layout of the rigid bodies depending on the body type we get. And then name them, like, according to the bones. Okay. New screen tool snip. Not good enough. We're gonna need something a little bit better aligned. I don't know if you guys are able to, like, see this or not. No. Oh my god. Can I do, like, a 20-second one? That would be helpful. 5 seconds is not enough. I could try upside down. I mean, I could just flip it. Okay, I'm gonna switch directions. I'm gonna try that. No! Water! Why is the tail doing that? Gotta be something to do with our, like, physics calculations. Get out of the way, particles. No, new one. Why? Okay, maybe I can just keep moving up. Oh my god, what? The tail! I gotta add the tail control thing. Perfect alignment. Okay. This is probably the best we're gonna get. It'll be good enough. Just need something to get us started. Uh... Yeah, let me save this. But where? Where, though? Found a spot. Okay, now what I want to do is line it up with this other reference image. Does this have a scale? What if I try copying this? Because the pixel resolutions could have been the same at the time the pictures were taken. No, no, it does not appear so. All right, we're gonna do the advanced technique. Advanced layers. Oh, the pixels actually match up pretty good. See that? Like right here? I think those are the same... Oh, can't tell. The tail length seems to be the same, though. What other clues can we use? Is this bump right here, is that this part? Is that what I'm seeing? But it's at an angle, also. I think that is what I'm looking at, though. I have to adjust the scale. It's going too fast. Okay. Scale from the cursor. Maybe? Is this the one? I think that's better. Like, just looking at the tail alone, yeah, it looks pretty aligned. But then we have to get, like, the length of the different bones. Maybe we should do that first, then. Yeah, let me copy this, call it Drake Armature. We can reuse some of the stuff we already have. I'm trying to think of the, like, relationship between the 2D nodes and the 3D nodes and how we might be able to, like, generate a lot of that stuff automatically, like the shape of the rigid bodies. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna hide these again. Alright, and then... Seems like we're only adding 4 parts. And I'm gonna assume the distance between them is changing when we do that. Right? Wouldn't that be the case? Looks like it. Maybe not? Oh, I don't know. It might not be. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, let me close other tabs. Pretty much everything, as far as the tailbones go, don't have to be changed on this armature. And we might not have to change the body segments. It's the neck. And that's in local space. Okay, so if we just compare those... Wait, neck. That's a negative 28 for the head. Which would mean that the body is actually longer. Okay, well, we can use the positions of the pins. I mean, that'll be helpful. Body 2. I thought body 2 goes down here. Yeah, wait, what? Okay. That's 10. What about here? Here it's 0. Interesting. Okay. Um, well, we can use this information. Hold on, let me look at... That's 0. And what's the position of body 1 sprite? -10. So I think the length there would be the same. Or maybe not. Here, let me use the power of the calculator. Get the different distances here. Okay, so this first one... Oh. Okay, -28. So 28 is the length of the first like body segment. Then we're also using like a... We've scaled this up, so the lengths are going to be inconsistent. I'm pretty sure. But again, this is the only time we'll have to do this. Okay. Can we get the length of the bone in here somewhere? Whatever this is. Or I could scale everything up first. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, but we have to get the length of the body segment for the other dragon. Well, I think that's what we just did here. Which I think means we actually measured the wrong thing. Okay, well, 28. So 28 divided by this is how much we're going to scale this up. Do the animations still work? Yes, they do. Cool. Alright, now we can operate like within the same length space. Yeah, now it's 28 meters. So let's measure the length of the actual Drake body type. That's 10. That's -15. It'll be 25. This is 28 right now. Okay. So then we move these back 3 meters. Or would it be 2? I think 3 is correct. All the parenting should still be the same. None of the bones are parented to one another, though, which is interesting. Something I will have to keep in mind. I think ultimately we should generate the rigid bodies and stuff based off the 3D models now at this point. Although some of them will be adding manually, like the Morning Star. I really prefer 3D to 2D. Is this the head? Oh, that's the jaw. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of that here. Now, let's make sure body 2 is also correct. And again, we won't have to worry about tail. That is not changed. '21. What is this? 28.3. Okay. Oh god, I don't know what the difference is there. And I'm gonna have to scale up the reference pictures, I think. Oh, I forgot what the number was. Shit. Okay, we still have it pasted, which is helpful. As long as our scales are still the same. Like if I use local space. Okay, I think they are. Wait, but what the hell is going on with the reference image? What? When did that happen? Is that when I pasted it? Okay. I can't tell if those are still lined up or not. Man. Okay, the reference doesn't have to be exact. We're gonna make a new sort of thing here. Also, I'm gonna hide this. It's actually just gonna confuse me. Stop. Shut up. Okay, so this was 21, right? Yeah. Copy this. 21. Then subtract. Subtractify. Completely wrong. I remember this value somewhere. Sure. I'll put it here for now. Alright, so y is this. Okay, use that value. Oh no. Wait, okay, this might work. Oh my god. Oh. Doesn't translate them though. Don't set that yet. Damn it. Okay, we need another custom property. Come on. Why didn't that just not work? What? Okay, please. Please. Copy? Oh my goodness. I can't even... Negative 27.0605. Is that it? Is that the one? Messed up. Okay, there we go. So now we should have the basis of everything we need. Although we do have to make sure the bones adhere to the dimensions of the sprites, unless we want to like redo all of that right now, which I do not want to do. So we need to add a neck bone with a length of 17. A little too much. That's neck 1. Right? Yeah. Can't see what I'm looking at. Alright, neck 2. Which has a length of negative 22.5, so 22.5. And I'll test in a second if the run animation still works with this. I imagine it would, because these are like... What are these parented to? Not really anything. Yeah, there is like some sort of... I think it had something to do with how we apply the positions, but there's like a technical thing here with how the hierarchy is arranged. Although with the legs, it doesn't matter because those aren't being animated in that way. So it's like, okay. Yeah, because I think we are setting it in local space. Kind of dumb that I have to do it like that, but whatever. Yeah, hopefully we don't run into any issues like that when we try to export this. How does the run animation look? Okay, it only animates the legs, so yeah, it's fine. However, we might have to move the legs. Maybe I'll use the other lizard body type as a basis. I probably should do that. We're getting into the actual modeling phase now. I'm trying to think how I might be able to give the head like an elevation. Like an actual dragon. Like, what does our code look like? I'm pretty tired right now. The 3D orthographic body. The 3D orthographic. 3D orthographic. As long as it preserves the Y position, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty flat. Also, an ad break is going to start in 40 seconds, so I'm going to pause the stream for 3 minutes. For that, I'm going to take a micro nap in 3 minutes. Re-energize myself. I'll probably use that time to think about what I'm going to do there for, like, the elevation of the head. The neck stretch. So yeah, we'll see. Trying to figure out how this works. I mean, it kind of does depend on this a little bit. Position 3D, project position. Okay, I'll be back in 3 minutes. It has a depth. All right. We're back. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stretch, or I'm going to like have the neck not synchronized with the rest of the skeleton. Like, I don't know. I don't think it would, otherwise it would like squash the skeleton's neck down, which I kind of don't want. Let me make a duplicate of this. I could probably shrink the skeleton back down at this point. Is that we really only did that for like measuring benefits. And I'll go ahead and apply the transformations. Drake mesh. Okay. You can even keep some of the UVs, to be honest. Maybe I shouldn't, though. Whoops. Wait, what is it? Oh god, I need to recalculate. No, that's fine. I can just eyeball it this time. Wait, what? What? Oh yeah, how would we automatically calculate the nodes, though, if there's no parenting anywhere? We could check the positions, I suppose. This is kind of stupid. It works so well. Look at that. Wow. Incredible. Wait, what? Am I gonna have to do this manually? What the hell? I still want to talk about Skate 4. Shoot. Maybe I could use this. I'm so tired, though. Maybe I should wait until I have more clarity. Yeah, I kind of do want to get this done right now. Probably shouldn't go into like a tangent. Okay, let me look up just a picture of a dragon. Because that is what I'm now going for. Yeah, they even have like the neck does like a recurve. I don't know if that's the right word. See, we have to represent that like somehow. Yeah, the head, it doesn't come straight out like this. It comes out at like an angle. Oh, lindworm body type would be cool. That could be our worm. Because worm, they're the same word. Sea serpent. Looking at this WikiHow graph apparently of different dragon types. Hydra with 3 heads. That would be cool. How would I implement that though? I don't know. Might have to hold off on that one. Okay. Well, shoot. If I really wanted to make this look like a proper dragon, I would have to reorganize the bone hierarchy. Although some depictions kind of look like what I'm going for. I don't know. Maybe I could just turn this into a different kind of body type. Why don't I do that? So the lizard one is fine. That is like conceivably what a lizard might look like. Um, Let me look up types of dragons. Turn this maybe into a different body type. Types of dargans. Lung dragon. What is that? Lindworm. A worm. Just kind of like a snake sort of thing. A drake, which is just like a dragon without wings. In this thing, in this picture. What is that? Amphitheater? Amphitheater? Amphitheater. Amphitheater. I don't know. Don't know. I could make this the worm. Make it the worm body type, but then I feel like the bone distribution would still have to change. Oh, I don't know. Shoot. Should probably make the script to automatically generate the things. That would have to recreate all of the body parts, though, every time. That could be, like, terrible. Long dragon. Lindworm. There's, like, different elements. Eel. Eeldrin. I don't know. Oh, this one would load in full resolution. That'd be nice. But sorry, this page is not available. Unfortunate. What could I do here? Like, if I tried aligning it, like... It would have to have that curve, though. I mean, maybe. Hold on. No. I might be able to make this work, actually. Which would be nice. It would be nice if I could do that. Also, do the legs clip through the ground? If not, then we can, like, be a little more permissive with how we, like, model this. My god. What is happening? I don't want to detach this again for a second. Might line this up. Where would the dragon's head be? Also, I want to rotate this slightly. Beautiful. Okay, then what the hell am I gonna do? We gotta rotate. Gotta spin. We gotta. This is the first real dragon-shaped thing we've made in 171 days. Finally. It's finally happening. I'm so tired. But it's happening. We're here. We made it. I'm gonna change the name back to Dragon Game. Hold on. Alright, this is gonna take a little work. As long as we use the bones as a reference, we should be fine. Everything is okay. Everything is fine. The head is too high up. This is terrible. Oh no. This is not okay. Hold on. Go down. And then, like, do that a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, time to rotate. It's time. I'm in orthographic mode, so I don't have to manually constrain to a certain axis every time. Topology should probably be a bit different here. Yeah, let me do that. I'm gonna bring this out one. Grid fill. Just choose the best one. Thank you. And then I'm going to take these vertices. You know what? No, I'm gonna... I don't know. I don't have the patience for this right now. We'll do it this way. It's fine. We can still create the same visual result. It's just our topology is going to be different. Ridge. Incredible. Kind of looks like a snake now. Like the head, but then it's attached to a non-snake body. Who comes up with these things? Who did this? In fact, I'm like kind of okay even implementing the recurve section a little bit. And I guess it could work. Maybe I'll just do this. Like, as long as these bones can just bend it, you know, left and right, that's all we need. Oh my god. This thing's looking crazy now. I like how we still have the texturing, so it's still, like, creating some sort of creature here with the texture. We're gonna probably change the UV layout a bit. Although, you know, we've kept the topology pretty similar, so for the neck here, I think we could just, like, use what we have. And then add a seam down the middle, I would say. Gonna give us like a tube. And then just like do some basic modeling for the body. And I really want to stress, this does not have to look perfect. Otherwise, I'm gonna actually spend hours doing this. Maybe I'll try and get it pretty perfect now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Can't say that for certain. We also have to make this look dragon-like, so let me do that. What does a dragon look like? Oh, yeah, the legs. I think probably worth redoing the legs. I know I said we wouldn't spend a million years on this. I lied. You've been lied to. Might have to finish this tomorrow. When my brain has more fuel. Normal. It'd be nice if we could select by island explicitly. I don't know if that's like a thing. Okay, now I need a picture of a dragon. Once again. Yep. Now I'm afraid to use sculpt mode. This is what happened before. I think this part needs to be thicker. Fact. I don't know. Not sure. Oh my god. What is going on here? Okay, I lied. We're using sculpt mode. Oh, it's my favorite mode. love sculpt mode. Here we go. I'm just gonna sculpt the entire thing. I'm not gonna look at the topology. I'm gonna close my eyes and hope for the best. It's the smart way to do it. I don't want to make the neck too thin. Okay, and then for the actual body. Yeah, it's not just like a lizard now, so. Gotta have like muscles and stuff now. I think at the very least we should probably give this more size here. Or height. Let me turn down the strength of the smooth brush, please. That might be too much. Might have gone a bit overboard with that. However, the shape is starting to improve. Do I want to do that? Is that a thing I want to do? Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay, can I start adding the legs now? What is going on with the legs there? How do dragons' legs work? Somebody please help me with this. And I'm also going to round... Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, I'm going to... I should probably re-enable mirror mode for this. Okay, we're like kind of being a bit more destructive now, but that's fine. Is literally okay. Dang, this thing's gonna look... It's like an actual dragon now. It's like a... Well, it doesn't have any of the horns yet or anything like that, so it looks more like a worm. Maybe that, you know... Maybe adding the horns should be its own upgrade. I mean, the more modular we can get it, I would say... Kind of generally the better. Not in every case, though. In this case, I think there could be something to it. Okay, now I do want to turn on wireframe. Like, all the time. Ground over here as well. Smooth. Yes, this is the way. I think. Oh no. Oh god. Hold on. It's fine. Just blender it. That's all we have to do. Not too much though, just a little bit. Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like that is what I'm thinking with this. And for the legs, God, I don't know. Something like like this. Of course. this could work. Oh my goodness. What are we making here? It's still conforming to the skeletons, so good. Proceed. Hind legs seem to be a bit different, although it varies from dragon to dragon, so you know. Although generally it seems like the hind legs are like lower. What the hell? They have like a different shape. Yeah, okay. All right. We'll do that. We'll go ahead and incorporate that in this design. Um, yes. Of course, of course. And it's like knee. You need a knee now. Add a knee here, and then this, and then another knee, but the backwards of the backwards variety. Knee, but backwards, of course. And then foot, right? I see. What am I looking at here? Yeah, foot. I don't know if I did the first one exactly correctly, though. What? What the hell? Oh, no. I'm going to use this one, which seems to be a bit more detailed. Continue following the guidelines here. Example. The reference. And it seems like there's a mini knee slash leg segment right here. Is that right? I don't know. I guess. I suppose. Which transitions into another knee. No, that's like a elbow. And then this is the foot. Wait, no. Then it goes down. I guess maybe this is the difference. It goes down here. Then this. This is the foot. I don't know about this. Grab. Smooth. Smooth brush is way too high. What the hell am I doing? Although it actually ended up looking not terrible. I definitely need to adjust this though. Smoothing it out too much. Shoot. No. Don't do this. Okay. Profile, or this perspective makes more sense. Looks like an actual, like, animal or something now. What the hell? Doesn't look... Oh, I made the legs too long. That's what just happened. Damn it! No! No! This cannot happen. It's fine. I have an ingenious technique. Oh, that's not good, actually. Okay, smaller, shorter legs. Shorter legs, please. I feel like I should move the knees out here. I mean, that's already more acceptable, I would say. Bring this up some more, please. Favorite brush. That's better. That's an improvement. Then I want to give it kind of like a blot or spine or something, like some sort of... Whoa! I don't know. Maybe just bring this down. Hold on. Bring the belly down. Oh my god. What's happening? Somebody, please help. Okay. Very marginal improvement. Although this is looking better. The thing with the horns upgrade is like, am I gonna have to do it individually for every body type? You know? I feel like I would have to do that. Especially if I wanted to make them like look good. Like they actually belonged on that. On the dragon. Okay, let me make some other adjustments here. To me, make the dragon head look more spooky. Spooky and menacing. We still have the teeth. It's fine. This is literally so okay. My god. What are we doing? Looks like a dinosaur. Now I feel like I have to make the neck smaller. Hold on. Hold on a second. No, that's too much. I don't know. Maybe we'll try this. I think I need to, yeah, turn that down a little bit. Like a slider. I'm turning it down. This up. Really what I'm trying to do here is make the dragon look like it's mewing, basically. Kind of what I'm going for. I'm trying to add more angularity. The eyes need to be in a completely different spot. Oh, what's up, Redstone? I've been working hard and I was just testing things and I thought, PK would think this is cool. So I put a little video in the Discord every time. Is that the Loch Ness Monster? It is. It is the Loch Ness Monster. Here, let me look at the Discord. Let me look. I'm so energetic today. Great. It's great. I have... What is this? This is like... I have some money from, like, different countries. I don't know what country this is. It says Moldova. Republica Moldova. I don't know if that's the name of the country, though. On 3 hours of sleep and walked around a zoo for 5 hours. I'm about to die. Yeah. Sounds pretty bad. Also, I forgot what the acronym means. Life, yeah. Let me see. Ooh. What's going on here? May I show on stream? Is this spooky? Is this the spooky... Is this the Leviathan attack? Is that about to ensue? Here, let me show it. Looks cool. Let me see. Ah. Collecting resources. I'm curious where this is. Is this like... I know it has to do with like other planets and stuff. Looks like the moon or some sort of moon-like thing. Nice. It's cool that it uses the blocks to break it. Yeah. It is moon-like. Yeah, it's good progress. Should the tail go down? I guess. Thoughts so far? Are you asking for my thoughts, or are you about to say your thoughts? I'm assuming you're asking for my thoughts. Which, in that case, would be... Yeah, oh, idea times... Yeah. Right now, my brain is, like, completely fried. But my thoughts, it's okay. I can still lock in. The thoughts, they never escape me. They just... Sometimes they're just... They take more effort to grasp. My thoughts. I think that there needs to be a mining sound effect, but this is nitpicking. This is me looking for problems that may already be planned to be fixed, but there needs to be a mining sound effect to give it that satisfyingness, that feedback to the player. It kind of reminded me of Scrap Mechanic, the resource collection. There is, it's just, I have all specs for very quiet. Oh, I see. That makes sense. If you turn it up, you can probably hear it a little. Yeah. I heard, like, driving noises, I think. Maybe that was the sound of the drill. I'm not sure. But yeah, I want to build a cargo bob in car bricks, and I want to have a drill attached to a rope, and then suction up the rocks through a tube rope, and then put it into the cargo bob. No, I want to have a cargo bob. I want to deploy drones from the cargo bob. I want to mine the rocks. Then I want to deploy a net. No, I want to use a magnet. No, magnets are used too often. I want to have a net. But then how would you pick it up with the net? I want to have a claw. A claw that picks up the ore and then takes it to the base. You're saying I need rope blocks? I guess one thing I'm saying, rope blocks would be cool, but one thing I'm saying is the inventory for the resources. What do you plan to do with that? Because I think it would be cool if you had a physical inventory. Like you needed storage blocks. I'm not sure if you plan to do that or not. Extending ripper chain. Yeah, that'd be cool. Those are kind of difficult to implement though. I've never tried doing it though. It would be cool though. And I haven't seen a lot of games that do that in like the building genre. Like an actual physical rope system where it like, you know, bends around corners and stuff. Probably because it is kind of difficult to do. That would be one addition. I think the more important thing I would say is add some way to store blocks if you didn't already. So you could incorporate that into the engineering process as well and have it affect weight and stuff. And then also have the ore drop. I might not be remembering everything correctly in the video, but have it drop like physical ore that you would then pick up. Yeah. Because then you're kind of removing the process of hauling from like the challenge, and I think it could be a satisfying component to keep in the challenge. Especially like if you have to navigate over certain terrain and stuff. By physical, do you mean like the rods have physics and can technically fall out? Or like a block that stores it, then can release it? By physical, I mean blocks that actually... like physical blocks that have inventories. It doesn't necessarily have to like store the ore inside of it in like a physics calculation. Just a physical block where the ores go. So that could be as simple as like, oh, you've placed down this crate block, or you'd probably want to do something cooler like I don't know, depot block or tank block if you want to store like gases or liquids. But you could just place one of those down and that would give you like plus 20 extra storage space units for whatever. That's what I mean by physical storage. As opposed to just like an inventory system, a UI-based inventory system where like when you mine something, it just goes to your inventory and then you can, you know, sell it at a later point. Yeah, I mean, that I think adding that is like an extra challenge would be satisfying to engage with overall. I do have that, but it may be different to how you think. In the video, the rods get sucked up by the collector blocks. How do you think it'd be done differently? Well, in terms of a collection mechanism, which I guess isn't something I've addressed yet, suction blocks work fine. Rods get sucked up, yeah, by the collector blocks. Yeah, something like that is probably fine. You could do like some sort of claw arm thing. If you wanted to, you could be a little more, you can make it more of a challenge in that regard, or you could leave it up to the player a little bit more and just, if like a rod, a physics-based rod, falls into one of the blocks, or maybe there's like a hopper block. It could be collected that way, which would require the player to perhaps make their own mechanism for doing that, or like Maybe there could be like arm blocks that like automate the collection movement or something. There's a lot of what ifs there. Um, but yeah, what would be a good way to collect them? A suction block is probably fine. This is a fairly specific thing. Um, or in other words, I don't think it'll affect the game overall gameplay too much. I mean, it will affect the gameplay, but relative to what I was talking about before, which was like a more core system, this will affect it less. So I guess you don't have to worry about it as much, or it doesn't have to be as fancy. Like it could just be like, suction block. Um, but what if it's like a gas though? Well, suction block would make sense in the case of a gas for sure. Hmm. If you have the ability to get out of your car, you could carry and put it into the vehicle yourself. Although I think I'm not sure if you'd want to do that or not. That specific thing. Um, yeah, how could it be done differently? Sucked up by the collector blocks. I mean, if we're talking about a physics-based thing that drops, there's only so many ways to like collect that or create some sort of system for collecting it. But yeah, suction block, getting out of your vehicle and doing it, sort of grappling or arm block, hoppers, and then defer to the player a little bit there. Uh, yeah, yeah, something of the sort. Space Engineers, the way Space Engineers works is you can connect an inventory block directly to the drill, and the drill will just send it into whatever adjacent inventory blocks there are. I think maybe you could do something like that, although that's not as fun because then the system becomes less reusable. I think a suction block is better than. I think your suction block idea is better than the Space Engineer's way of doing it, or allows more possibilities. Because you could also use like TNT and then use a suction block to pick it up that way if you want to harvest things that way. Whereas, unless there's like a special portal hidden in TNT and Space Engineers, by the way, I don't even know if TNT is a thing in Space Engineers. Not really. Then it's not going to teleport into the inventory you wanted to go in. So, those would be my ideas in that regard. And, jeez, I think I'm gonna end stream and finish this tomorrow. I'm very tired. I don't think we'll have enough time. We're running out of time anyways. Um, However, this is a good start, and we already have the code implemented. So tomorrow we'll finish this. I can't guarantee we'll finish it, but we'll work on it some more. I'm not gonna try and worry about making it extremely detailed. I gotta think about how I want to do the horns and stuff as well. Yeah, maybe I could like standardize the shape of the head. Use an algorithm to figure out where the horn should go. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. So thank you everyone who stopped in. Thank you, Redstone, the only chatter today. Um, I will be live tomorrow. Yes. Yeah, I know. What a scam. It's fine, though. Redstone, you count as, this is a social hierarchy now. You count as 10 chatters. You have the value of 10 chatters. No. I appreciate everyone's presence. So, yeah, thanks again, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Do projects, do things, do what you want, do everything. Actualize yourself. All right, take care, everyone. See you later. Do things, exactly. All right, see ya.